insight. So today I'm here to talk to you about the Boson Sell Everywhere product launch. So what this latest iteration of the Boson product enables is for sellers to unlock the power of decentralized Web3 commerce everywhere. So by everywhere we mean online, using a Web3 commerce store, or in the metaverse, and increasingly we'll be plugging into gaming, NFT marketplaces, etc. So with our new Boson Seller Hub, sellers are really able to sort of to access low-cost, low-code tools that enable them to tokenize physical assets and sell them as NFTs. So historically, this is the sort of technology that's only been accessible by either kind of really cutting edge Web3 brands, or by brands like Nike and Adidas with like super expensive kind of design agencies and Web3 agencies supporting them. But with the Boson Seller Hub, we really democratize this capability, and now everyone can leverage Web3 commerce. Just going to play this latest video of ours. Cool. Well, that's actually just been released. The first time I've seen that in full. And so next off, we're just going to talk through some examples of what brands are doing in Web3 commerce. But I think at the stage we're at the moment, we have a number of real sort of trailblazing brands that are really showing the way. But lots of other brands are looking to kind of follow in their footsteps and understand, I guess, what is possible, why they should do it, so what are the benefits, and then how can they do it themselves. And so there's a few use cases here that sort of demonstrate, I guess, the art of the possible, highlight some of the benefits, and then I'll also touch on how you can leverage Boson's technology to do this yourself. So first off, Starbucks loyalty program. So here, what Starbucks did is building communities with Web3 loyalty. So users were encouraged to and incentivized to participate in what Starbucks called journeys. So journeys are like these sort of progressions where their customers can get to earn sort of journey stamps. So kind of gamification, if you like. These journey stamps, however, can I refresh my page? Okay. How's that? Okay. Here we go. Hopefully, hopefully you can all see now. Okay. Okay. Hopefully everyone can see now. Apologies for that little glitch. So yeah, so with the Starbucks program, users were able to collect journey stamps, which are NFTs, and then by collecting these NFTs, get new advantages and experiences, be able to redeem some of these NFTs for physical products such as either coffees or attend events, etc. And then a good example of phygital products. Givenchy did a collaboration with B-Stroy, and basically what they did here is they created a capsule collection with some accompanying limited edition NFTs. And so, these phygital items included T-shirts, hoodies, jeans, jackets, etc. And really developing community around these kind of scarce items that really engendered sort of very tribal loyalty. Here we have Holly. Welcome. I did explain that we've got you dashing from one seller meeting to another today. But I've just done this slide, Holly, but I shall pass over to you for the next, if that's okay.
Amazing, for sure. Thank you so much, Justin. Yeah, absolutely. As you can see, I am 35 floors up in central London. I'm in the Shard Tower, which is home of Tiffany and Matches Fashion. But I just headed over from Old Street in central London, where we've been having some really very cool client meetings about some sneaker projects that may or may not be coming our way very soon. So yeah.
Well, I shall carry on then. So another great example are sort of token gated digiphysical products. So here we have another collaboration, this time with Timex and Bored Ape Yacht Club. And so by buying a Timex NFT and holding a Bored Ape, you can get a new digital asset that comes with a real physical watch. Again, so combining these kind of themes of digital, physical, and also exclusivity and loyalty through token gating. And then another use case that we're actually going to be doing a bit of a focus session on in a couple of weeks is the Nike Crypto Kicks phygital products and Web3 community project. So Nike, released some Crypto Kicks sneakers, limited edition, so about 19,000 pairs, with various super interesting and novel technologies. So you'd be able to determine the color. They had all these kind of like lacing technology, etc. And then also that they were sold as NFTs, which could be redeemed for these physical counterparts. So again, sort of this theme of phygital products, limited edition, making them exclusive and programming them so that they can only be accessed by community members. So, I mean, what we've just touched on here are a couple of the benefits of Web3 commerce. And over the coming sort of weeks and months, we're going to be looking at some of these use cases and looking at what you can do, what are the benefits, and also how you can really easily do this now with Boson protocol. So, but some of these benefits are the storytelling, and this is sort of weaved into the gamification, and then sort of community experiences, community engagement, community building, and then of course brand recognition, which is also driving this sort of very, very tribal loyalty. So the difference with Web3 is that we're moving from sort of, almost like customer bases to these very, very loyal communities. And then the sort of the tactics that are used very, very often are enabling either early or exclusive access, whether that's discounts, and then also being able to track all these behaviors across the metaverse, online and in real life, using wallets, and ultimately being able to sort of generate new revenues and access new demographics. Okay, so let's talk a bit then about onto our product launch and how Boson can really help brands turbocharge your Web3 strategy. So firstly, with Boson, you can now either self-serve or the Boson team will support you to level up to a decentralized Web3 commerce store. So this is a really slick store with great UX which will tokenize your physical products and then offer them for sale as NFTs with very, very special properties. Properties that mean anyone that buys these NFTs will either receive the physical item or their money back. So we've got sort of cryptographic protection against rug pulls and people buying an NFT for a physical and never seeing the physical. And so this really enables brands to sort of grow revenues, reach new audiences by selling these physical products as NFTs on your own store. So here's a couple of examples. We've got here DressX selling a necklace. We've got Black Paris selling one of their baseball jackets here as an NFT. Ouroboros selling this amazing rare sort of vertebrae bracelet. And then in the background there, we also have a great NFT project called Chillheads. So these storefronts are super easy to set up and really, really easy to customize using your own brand colors. As I mentioned, I mean, setting one of these stores up, it literally takes minutes. You can do it yourself, but we also have a team that will support with the setup and help it make it look great and support with any of the more advanced features such as token gating, etc. And then the second element, the product element, which we're launching today, is our decentralized metaverse commerce kiosks. So this enables you to drop a kiosk like this one that you see here into a Decentraland scene very, very easily and be able to monetize the metaverse. So basically sell physical products as these NFTs directly in the metaverse. And so again, this is like super easy to set up. Everything we're doing is designed to be very, very low code. Hi again, Holly.
Hey.
And so this kiosk, you can literally drop it into your scene, plug in, upload your sort of product item, and monetize a metaverse scene. Now Boson has been heavily involved now in 2 metaverse fashion weeks last year and this year. And so these are kind of tried and tested technology. And unlike some of the other kind of slightly more hacky solutions, there's no linking out to a web page. It all happens natively within the world. And so this sort of really, these sort of technologies are really helping create what we're calling like these gamified, rewarding sort of omniverse commerce experiences. So by omniverse commerce, what we mean is that it's like metaverse and the universe combined. You can sell online, you can sell in the metaverse, you can sell in store. Wherever you sell, you can also program the rules within the underlying NFTs, so you create this sort of unified experience. Here's an example of the kind of Boson portal scene where we've hosted these multiple metaverse fashion weeks. We've also I'll let Holly talk about what we've got next week. And perhaps that's a good time to jump in there, Holly, and tell us about that.
Yeah, for sure. We're really excited. We're going to be working with Decentraland on on Metaverse Art Week, which is coming up. It's 19th to the 23rd, and it's going to be the first time that we're hosting an art event in Boson Boulevard. So it's very exciting. We're working with an incredible new gallerist. Argents is the name of the gallery. Marquez is the gallery owner, and he's based in Paris. Has been selling traditional work and working with lots of contemporary artists for many years. He has an incredible portfolio of artists I'm absolutely thrilled that we're going to be showing in Boson Boulevard. And it's very cool to be part of this kind of like bigger art fair. One of the things that I first identified with the metaverse, for instance, was this opportunity of, creating global connections, networks, engagement. We see this happening very much in IRL, but there's only so many free art fairs that you can get to at any one time, and with the metaverse, obviously that just all becomes so much more possible. So Decentraland are hosting 2 art fairs actually concurrently: Metaverse Art Week and also Mesh Art Fair. Mesh, it's their inaugural exhibition. It's an incredible lineup of curators and artists, really, really impressive. So yeah, I'm thrilled that Boson is going to be part of that. And we're literally working with Marquez right now to set up his storefront on Boson. It's very exciting.
Brilliant. Yeah, we look forward to that next week. And so, I mean, just kind of going back then to some of the other product features that are now live and available for sellers to use. We also have this, pretty advanced token gating capability, and so that token gating happens on Boson and is therefore enforced wherever you sell your redeemable NFTs. So in the metaverse, on your Web3 store, so you can really enable you to create exclusive products exclusive to your token holders, either by token gating with NFTs or even a minimum balance of ERC20s for some of the other Web3 projects with a token. I don't know, Holly, if you'd like to give a few examples of how you've seen token gating used effectively previously.
Yeah, for sure. So obviously we've seen kind of like the likes of Gucci being very experimental in the space. They have obviously done a lot in terms of token gating different worlds and communities across Roblox, Sandbox, and also with their super rare art collection. So yeah, we see a lot of token gating happening in the space already, and it's a great way of galvanizing communities and creating these like unique moments for specific kind of groups of people to converge and connect with each other. So yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more of those experiences, and those are certainly some of the things I'm going to be focused on are curating those cultural highlights for communities to engage with.
Brilliant, thank you. And then again, Boson really enables you to sort of activate your community with sort of Web3 loyalty. And again, Holly, I might ask you to talk a bit. You've got great experience of working with projects that do this. Can you sort of tell us a bit how can sellers activate a Web3 community?
This is always the $1 million question. Lots of brands always kind of want to know what the secret sauce is, and I'll often say to them about kind of working with Web3 native artists or creators, for instance, and it's one of the reasons that those are some of the groups that I'm having really exciting conversations with at the moment. We're talking to lots of very cool NFT projects. We're working closely in partnership with OpenSea. So we have, I think, been able to identify how for these existing Web3 native NFT communities, like what's the next iteration, what's the next step for them, and I think for a lot of them, they've been, they've they've listened to their communities, they've talked to communities. There is this real like open shared dialogue going on. That's why we see kind of like Nike with Swoosh doing co-creation. There's much more of a two-way flow of conversation. So for any brands kind of looking to enter the space, that openness to dialogue, and in so many ways that's how digital assets actually create these moments of opportunity for connection. But it's if you really understand how to reach these communities, that's where you kind of can leverage the most interest, and they won't necessarily be kind of huge, massive, number ticking box projects. That's kind of not the purpose of Web3 at the moment. It really is about innovation, emerging technologies, incredible creative communities. And so that, the fact that we see Adidas doing such incredible things in the space is just a real testament to their kind of long-term commitment to what it actually means to build a community. So actually I always hold Adidas up as one of the kind of the highlights of a brand who has entered the space, been very mindful, really been open and listened, but had a very consistent kind of clear concept of the messaging and engagement with the community that they've built and created.
So I mean, at Boson, we've already worked with 50 plus brands, sold thousands of products. So brands like Tommy Hilfiger, Cider, Hogan, and a host of amazing Web3 and NFT projects. We just last month we came out of closed beta into open access, and so we're excited to sort of onboard lots of other brands and really enable the democratization, I guess, of these sort of Web3 technologies. Hitherto, they've, I guess, been available to projects and brands that have either had super high tech in their DNA or could afford to sort of buy that in. Whereas now with Boson, everyone can leverage those sort of technologies. Holly, what do you think that sort of means for, I guess, the market and Web3 as a whole?
Well, we saw this as with the kind of the launch of the NFT space two plus years ago, nearly 3 years ago now, where essentially it was the technology that created that kind of opportunity to have this peer-to-peer conversation between collectors and creators. And I also kind of, love the way that you often saw creators becoming curators as well. In the same way as now we're kind of seeing, NFT projects are now becoming brands. You have this kind of full circle, and everybody wants ownership of the conversation. And I think that's what the democratization it connects, correlates with decentralization perfectly. That's certainly what drew me to the space in terms of the art proposition very early in the the NFT space. That concept of giving the tools to the creators. That's what I'm here to do, is really empower that conversation. And that's why I love what has been built at Boson, because it's actually a super, super valuable and very practical set of tools. So yeah, I'm excited to kind of see what gets built, and kind of, and the clients that we're working with right now, the listing that's happening, we're working very closely with a lot of new brands that we're onboarding right now. So yeah, there's going to be some cool things literally dropping over the next 10 to 14 days, which is going to be great.
Yeah. So in terms of our sort of short presentation there, we've reached the end there, and we're going to go to some questions next. But hopefully we've given you a short preview of how Boson can enable everyone to sort of unlock the power of decentralized Web3 commerce.
This is I always find really fun, Justin, the questions. I love the questions.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can find them.
Well, we have one at the top. Is there any plan to integrate Boson with WooCommerce? So, as those of you who've listened to our previous sort of AMAs, etc., we do have a policy of not announcing any partnerships till they're announced. But what I can say is that our strategy at Boson is kind of twofold. One is to be connecting with lots of brands and agencies and integrators, etc., that are going to use the technology on the front end. And the second part of that strategy is to then integrate backwards into a lot of legacy systems, so that we can enable brands to very easily, kind of connect with Web3 commerce at scale. WooCommerce, amazing e-commerce kind of application, would fall squarely within that strategy, but I can't confirm specific partnerships. Okay. Well, a couple of these are a bit technical. I might handle. What is an RNFT and why is Boson different from other types of redeemable physical NFTs? Well, a redeemable NFT is like an IOU for a physical item. The big difference with Boson, which which makes us really unique, is that we've solved this really hard problem of, if I go and buy an NFT that's redeemable for a physical item, how can I have assurances that I will actually get the physical item, that I don't go onto OpenSea, buy an NFT that says, oh, you'll get the physical, pay my money, and then I've got an NFT that's not honored. And that trust problem is handled by Boson Protocol by three things, really: locking up funds, using game theory to only release those funds when the seller delivers the item, and then having the ability to escalate to sort of independent dispute resolvers, all of which combined give us the ability to give buyers these strong, credible assurances that either they get the item or the money back. So that's the kind of real difference there.
I was also going to mention though, Justin, we were talking this morning about some of the developments in the space, and just in terms of Boson has been building this for almost 2 years, and the term redeemable NFTs, I think, is going to become like such a familiar phrase to so many, but I think it's not necessarily going to be super clear as to what is different between different types of redeemable NFT. So the thing that I really want to kind of make sure that people are really aware of in terms of the Boson redeemable NFTs is that trust element. I think you touched on that there, and it's just so important. The fact that there is this trustless, permissionless security almost with the Boson NFT. That's one thing that really stands out to me when I'm kind of always thinking, what is it that makes what we do actually really very different and actually unique to the space.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think whilst our NFTs are quite new and mostly being done with pretty innovative and quite highly trusted brands, as we see this technology scale, buying an NFT in the hope that you're going to receive a physical is a pretty risky thing to do. It might not feel that way right now, but once you scale that, if we're selling billions and billions, you just won't be able to trust, and that's the problem that Boson solves. Okay, so the next one is what's the difference between Boson and the Shopify Web3 approach? I mean, I'll probably start off there and hand over to Holly as well. I mean, firstly, fundamentally, Boson is a decentralized network. It's a decentralized platform. So it's owned by and for the benefit of its users. And so, you know, Boson is not kind of like a centralized entity, and it's not competing for those users, and it's not competing, you know, to take more and more money from those users. So, you know, Web3, like the real decentralized Web3, was built in response to the fact that Web2 is broken, if you like. We've got these huge kind of organizations like Amazon, eBay, Shopify, etc., and, you know, taking an increasing amount of market share, an increasing amount of value and the pie. Boson is very much like public infrastructure. It's a set of tools that everyone can use, and where the value is shared, you know, by the users. So a fundamentally different approach. That doesn't mean we can't play nicely with Shopify and the others, and we'll plug in, but we will be, you know, we are a kind of pedigree Web3 decentralized project in that regard, which makes us quite different. So, okay, what new features are you working on for the Seller Hub? So I'll take that to mean ones. I mean, obviously today we announced a number of features. So, you know, the Web3 store, metaverse, commerce, kiosks, and token gating, all of that in open access now. Holly, I don't know if you want to share some of the features we've got coming up on the roadmap, and I'll chip in as well.
Yeah, for sure. I was also looking at Adonis's question as well.
Okay, well, you can take that one if you prefer.
Yeah, if that's okay. I'm just going. Adonis is asking about metaverse platforms, and do we plan to integrate with others? And the short answer there is absolutely yes. You know, we are very close to a number of like different verse providers, and absolutely, you know, that as Justin was saying, the idea is for Boson to be able to plug and play across different metaverses, and so yeah, absolutely, we will be rolling out various partnerships in the near future. So yeah, if you have any of your favorites, Adonis, that you want to share with us, feel free to. But yeah, no, we're very excited about doing that for sure.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, perhaps what we can share with the kind of community is that now that we've got the protocol fully built and the dApp, you know, the core dApp platform fully built, we're moving from a quite structured, rigid roadmap to a more reactive roadmap. So we have a backlog of loads of features that we could build, and we're constantly asking ourselves what next. And now that we've built the kind of core, a lot of what we're building next is being driven by kind of, you know, user demand, really. So, you know, that at the moment, one of the things we're deliberating is, okay, do we now focus, you know, we love the idea with Boson being able to plug in everywhere. Is that the next set of things that we do? Or is it enabling Boson, you know, enabling more Web 2.5 features for Boson, so which onboard, you know, enables more mainstream customers. So for example, enabling people to pay with a credit card and use a custodial wallet. And so, you know, we balance these based on demand, really. It looks like there's one for Holly there. Another one from Adonis at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. So at the moment, there is a strong demand for fashion brands to enter the space. Do you feel we will see other sectors of types of brands, not necessarily fashion, entering and using redeemable NFTs? Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the use cases are vast. You know, Boson is the decentralized infrastructure layer for commerce. So anything that is currently existing on an e-commerce layer can equally exist on a decentralized commerce layer. I expect that we will see some very interesting use cases in the near future, particularly from the automobile industry, luxury drinks brands who are already kind of active in the space as well. But I actually see a huge opportunity around the travel and leisure industry, for instance, because, as we think about redeemable NFTs, we start to think more closely to sort of memberships, and providing different types of access through these memberships. So yeah, I think there's definitely going to be a widening of industries participating.
Brilliant. Okay, well, I think we may have answered all the questions. So I don't know, Holly, if you wanted to share a few parting words. Otherwise, I think we consider that a wrap.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, in terms of, what we're celebrating today, the launch of this incredible set of tools, this suite of tools that Boson has been, developing, with so much kind of momentum. It is the really exciting part now, where we get to kind of like work closely with special partners, and think about how we kind of use those tools. And as Justin was saying, in terms of what next, what products do we build on top of this suite of tools? But for now, I am really, really excited to be launching the new opportunities, it feels like a whole new realm to me, honestly. It's like, the fact that you're going to be able to like have these direct community, trustless, permissionless, transactionable moments. I think it's momentous, and yeah, it's going to be exciting to see how that plays out.
Brilliant. Yeah, so I mean, just to sum up then, today, we've shared Boson's Sell Everywhere product launch. So our seller hub, making it super easy for sellers to come and tokenize physical assets and physical products, sell them as NFTs. Our custom Web3 stores, set up your store in minutes and be selling redeemable NFTs, and also our metaverse commerce kiosks, which will plug very, very easy into Decentraland, and all of this enabled with advanced token gating that's super easy to use. Now all the core products are built, protocols built, core applications are built. The velocity with which we will be delivering this product that the market wants is massively increased. So what we've got to look forward to, and I'm off the top of my head don't know the exact dates, but it may be weeks, it may be just over a month, but it's not much longer than that. We've got things like full phygital support coming. We've got a product called the Redeem widget, which I think will get rebranded, but basically it means that sellers can sell these tokenized products everywhere, online, metaverse, on NFT marketplaces. And then when someone wants to, you can buy these things everywhere. And then when you want to redeem, you have to go back to the seller's site and redeem at their site, which kind of creates a community hub around the seller. And then the other product that we're releasing there is full OpenSea integration as well, so that sellers can tokenize using Boson and then leverage the full kind of buyer liquidity of NFT marketplaces. So loads of amazing product to come, and yeah, we look forward to updating you further as we release these products.
Thank you so much, Justin. It's been a pleasure to join you from 35 floors up in the middle of London.
Well, I think you've deserved a gin and tonic. It's not too early at 2:45.
I have like a ton more client calls and meetings to do, Justin. That'll be later. That'll be the celebration end of week.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, and thanks for listening, everyone. Bye.
Thanks all. Bye.